All right, everyone, get ready, because today we're going deep into the world of servers.
Oh, yeah.
What are the things that are really driving the future of servers?
Right.
And we've got some pretty wild stuff to talk about.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing what's happening in the server world right now.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about servers that are like Legos.
Oh, yeah?
We'll be talking about servers that can handle all this AI and GPU craziness. And we'll even be talking about why MSI, you know, those guys that make those awesome gaming PCs.
Right.
Why they're getting into servers.
It's going to be fascinating to see what they bring to the table.
Yeah. So
Sure.
let's start with this whole servers as Legos concept. The source material talks about something called DC-MHS, Data Center Modular Hardware Systems.
Right.
It sounds super technical,
Yeah, it's a mouthful.
but is it really as simple as like snapping Lego bricks together?
Well, I mean, it's obviously more complicated than that, but the
Yeah.
Lego analogy, it's actually a pretty good starting point.
Okay.
So imagine you're building a server the old-fashioned way, right?
Right.
Lots of proprietary parts, everything's kind of a mess.
Yeah, it's a jumbled mess.
DC-MHS comes from this thing called the Open Compute Project.
Okay.
And the Open Compute Project, they're all about open source hardware.
So kind of like open source software, but for hardware.
Exactly. So DC-MHS basically takes that philosophy and applies it to server design. So you end up with standardized components, things like motherboards and BMCs, you know.
BMCs. What are those?
Think of them as the brains of the server.
Oh, okay. The control center.
Exactly. And because everything is standardized, it's like having a set of Lego bricks that all fit together perfectly.
That's pretty cool. Right. But does that really like revolutionize things?
Oh, it's a total game changer.
Really?
I mean, think about it. You can swap out components super easily.
Like what kind of components?
Anything. Your CPU, you need more RAM, even the entire chassis if you want.
So I could basically upgrade my server without buying a whole new one.
Exactly. Just swap out the modules you need, like adding a new graphics card to your PC.
Wow. That's actually pretty slick.
Right. And it's not just about upgrading either. You can customize your server for different tasks.
So I could have a server for gaming, one for video editing, one for whatever I need.
Precisely. It's all about flexibility and efficiency.
But wouldn't constantly swapping parts make things more fragile? Like what about reliability?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
But the beauty of DC-MHS is that all those standardized components are tested and validated.
So they're not just random parts cobbled together.
No way. They're designed to work seamlessly together. Plus, this modularity has huge implications beyond just swapping parts. Well, think about the design process for companies making these servers.
Okay.
They can reuse the same components across different models.
Makes sense.
It speeds up development time.
And probably saves them money too.
Exactly. Less waste, faster innovation, everybody wins.
Okay, so that's a win for the manufacturers. But how does this whole modularity thing benefit the people actually using these servers?
Well, think about it from your perspective. You're working on a project.
Okay.
Suddenly, it needs more power, more resources.
Uh-oh, sounds like I need a new server.
In the past, yeah, you'd have to buy a whole new server.
That's expensive.
Exactly. But with DC-MHS, you just swap out a module or two.
So like, instead of buying a new car, I just get a new engine.
Perfect analogy. It's way cheaper and faster.
Okay, so DC-MHS is making servers more adaptable and cost-effective. I get it.
Right. Core compute is all about cramming as much processing power as possible into a small space.
Okay, so it's all about maximizing density.
Exactly. Imagine a server rack.
I'm picturing like a big metal bookcase filled with servers.
Perfect. Core compute servers are like those super efficient books that pack a ton of information into a small package.
So they're designed to handle a lot of users, a lot of data, all at once.
You got it. Perfect for things like web servers, data analysis, anything that needs raw processing power.
And MSI, you know, those gaming PC guys, they're getting into this core compute thing.
Big time. They've got these awesome core compute platforms,
Yeah.
the 2U4 node and 2U2 node chassis.
Okay, I'm lost with the U stuff.
So think of those U as shelves in your server bookcase.
Okay, got it.
What MSI has done is they've managed to fit 4 server units onto just 2 of those shelves.
Whoa, that's a lot of servers in a small space.
Right. That's some serious density.
So we're talking like smaller data centers, less energy consumption, lower cost.
Hit the nail on the head. It's a more sustainable way to do things.
Okay, so we got modularity with DC-MHS, making servers more adaptable and efficient. And then core compute, where companies like MSI are pushing the boundaries of density.
Yeah.
But what about AI?
Ah.
What about GPUs?
Right.
I mean, those things need a ton of power, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So how does that fit into this whole evolving server world?
Well, that's where things get even more interesting. Because with AI and GPUs, that's where we start to see, like, the limitations of that standard DC-MHS approach.
Really?
Yeah.
So even with all that, like, cool modularity and efficiency,
Right.
it can't keep up with AI.
It struggles.
Hmm.
Especially with those really demanding GPU workloads like deep learning and stuff.
So it's like we hit a roadblock on the road to AI.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, so where does the road lead now?
Well, you see, DC-MHS relies a lot on these OCP-NICs.
OCP-NICs, hold on, remind me what those are again.
They're network interface cards designed for the Open Compute project.
Right, the networking stuff.
Exactly. And for general purpose servers, those OCP-NICs are great to get the job done. Yeah. But they just can't handle the sheer volume of data that GPUs need to process for AI.
It's like trying to pour a gallon of water through a coffee stirrer.
That's a perfect analogy. It's just not going to work.
Okay, so we need a bigger coffee stirrer, or maybe like a whole new coffee maker.
Right.
What's the solution here?
Well, this is where NVIDIA comes in with their MGX architecture.
MGX.
Think of it as like DC-MHS 2.0.
Okay.
Specifically designed with AI servers in mind.
So they took the whole modularity concept and tweaked it for AI.
Exactly. They reprioritized things to make sure those power-hungry GPUs could get the data they needed.
All right, walk me through this. How does MGX actually solve that GPU bottleneck?
So first off, instead of focusing on those OCP-NICs, MGX prioritizes direct high-speed GPU connectivity.
So they built like a superhighway for data to flow between the GPUs.
Exactly. No more traffic jams.
Nice.
And second, remember that DC-SCM we talked about earlier?
The one with the BMC.
Yep, that's the one. Well, in MGX, they actually internalized the DC-SC.
Internalize, what does that mean?
It means they move it inside the server chassis,
Okay.
gets it out of the way, cleans up all the cabling, and really helps to reduce those data bottlenecks even further.
So it's like streamlining the whole data flow specifically for AI.
Precisely.
And what about MSI? They're doing something with MGX, right?
Oh, yeah, they're all over it.
What are they up to?
Well, they've got this really impressive 4U MGX chassis.
Okay.
And it supports what NVIDIA calls a 285 configuration.
285, what is that? Some kind of secret code?
Kind of. It means you get 2 CPUs, 8 GPUs, and 5 NICs.
Wait, 5 NICs? That seems like a weird number.
It does, doesn't it?
Why 5?
Well, there's a really clever reason for that.
Okay.
So 4 of those NICs are dedicated to what's called east-west communication.
East-west, what is that? Like some kind of data compass?
Think of it this way. You've got your 8 GPUs, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're all working together like a team.
Yeah, teamwork.
Exactly. These 4 NICs create a dedicated network for those GPUs to talk to each other super fast.
So they can share data and coordinate their efforts.
Precisely. It's all about maximizing performance.
Okay, so that's 4 for teamwork. What about the 5th one?
The 5th NIC, that one's the real star of the show.
Oh, yeah. What does it do?
It's dedicated to something called data fabric connectivity.
Data fabric connectivity.
It's basically the main highway for data coming in and out of the whole system.
Okay.
Think of it like the internet connection for your AI operation.
Got it. So 4 for internal communication, 1 for external communication.
You got it.
MGX sounds pretty impressive.
It is pretty slick.
But what about future-proofing?
Good question.
AI hardware changes so fast these days.
It does, yeah.
Will these MGX systems become obsolete in like a year?
That's the best part. MGX is built on that same modular foundation as DC-MHS.
Okay.
So as new processors and GPUs come out, you just swap out the modules.
Makes sense?
No need to replace the whole system.
That's a relief.
Right.
Okay, so we've talked about DC-MHS, this whole modular revolution, and it's like supercharged cousin, MGX.
Built for the age of AI.
Now let's talk about MSI.
Okay.
We know them for gaming hardware.
Right. The graphics cards, the motherboard.
Yeah, all that good stuff.
The flashy stuff.
But servers, that seems like a whole different world.
It does, doesn't it?
What's their story?
Well, you might be surprised to hear that MSI has actually been in the server business for a while now.
Really?
Yeah, since 2001, they've been quietly working behind the scenes, building custom servers for specific clients.
Interesting.
It's called the ODM model.
ODM, what's that stand for?
Original Design Manufacturer.
So they were like bespoke server tailors?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Building custom solutions for whoever needed them.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But now they're switching gears.
Right.
They're moving away from that custom ODM model and focusing on more off-the-shelf channel-driven server solutions.
So they're going mainstream.
Exactly, bringing their server expertise to a wider audience.
But the server market is pretty competitive.
Oh, for sure.
What makes them think they can compete with the big dogs?
Well, they're not just dipping their toes in the water.
They're diving in head first.
Absolutely. They've been investing heavily in server R&D, more than doubled their R&D headcount, actually.
Wow.
And they're expanding their global presence, too, building up local resources in key markets like North America.
So they're serious about this.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it.
But what about their actual servers?
Right.
What are they offering?
Well, they're offering a pretty wide range of solutions.
Okay.
They've got bare bones systems for people who want to customize everything themselves. And they've got fully integrated solutions for people who just want something that works right out of the box.
So they're covering all the bases.
Exactly. And here's the interesting thing.
Okay.
This is where their gaming heritage might actually give them an advantage.
Okay, I was wondering about that.
How does building gaming PCs translate to servers, right?
It seems like a pretty big leap.
It does, but think about what goes into a high-performance gaming PC.
Okay, I'm picturing like a super fast processor, tons of RAM, a graphics card that costs more than my car.
Exactly. And all of that needs to work together perfectly. You need top-of-the-line cooling systems to handle the heat,
Right.
robust power delivery to keep everything running smoothly.
And probably some really clever engineering to make sure it all fits together.
Precisely.
Yeah.
MSI has become a master of all those things.
So it's not just about raw power, it's about finesse.
Exactly.
Understanding how all those components work together to create a seamless experience.
Right. And that's where their gaming DNA becomes a huge asset in the server world. As servers become more powerful and complex, those skills become even more important.
Makes sense.
Think about a server running a cutting-edge AI application.
Okay.
It's pushing the hardware to its limits, generating a ton of heat, demanding a constant flow of power.
Yeah, it's a real workout for the hardware.
It is. And MSI's experience in the gaming world has perfectly prepared them for this challenge.
But like they've been training for the Server Olympics all along.
Exactly. They're bringing that same gamer's mindset to the server market.
A relentless pursuit of performance.
Absolutely. And a deep understanding of how to optimize hardware for demanding tasks.
Okay, so we've covered a lot here.
We have.
Modularity with DC-MHS, AI-optimized servers with MGX, and MSI's ambitious push into the server market.
A lot to digest.
It is, but I want to bring it back to our listeners for a minute.
Right.
Why should they care about all of this?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
Because all of this innovation, it's not happening in some isolated tech bubble.
Right.
It has real-world implications for everyone.
How so?
Well, servers are the backbone of the internet.
Right.
They power everything we do online.
Websites, apps, cloud services.
The whole 9 yards.
So this server revolution is quietly shaping our digital lives.
Exactly.
I never thought about it that way.
Faster servers mean faster websites,
Okay.
more responsive apps, and richer online experiences.
That's good.
More efficient servers mean lower costs for businesses.
Which could mean lower prices for us.
Exactly.
And more adaptable servers mean we can do more with AI and other cutting-edge technologies.
Push the boundaries of what's possible.
Wow.
It really is mind-blowing when you think about it.
It is.
We're on the verge of a whole new era of computing.
And it all starts with these little boxes humming away in data centers somewhere.
It's a pretty exciting time to be following all this.
Yeah, it really does feel like we're at a turning point.
It does, yeah.
And it's not just about like more power, more speed. It's about access.
That's a huge part of it, making this technology available to everyone.
Exactly.
As servers become more efficient, more adaptable, it really does level the playing field.
That's a really important point.
It is, yeah.
It means that smaller companies, startups, even individuals can access these powerful tools.
They don't need to be a giant corporation with a massive budget.
Exactly.
It's democratizing innovation, really.
Okay, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, I want to go back to something you mentioned earlier about MSI's crossover expertise from the gaming world.
Ah,
Can you unpack that a bit more?
sure.
Like, what specific skills or insights are they bringing from the world of gaming PCs to the world of servers?
Well, think about the typical gamer.
Okay.
They're demanding.
Oh, yeah.
They want the best performance.
No lag, no glitches.
Exactly. Smooth, immersive gameplay. That's the goal.
And to achieve that,
Yeah.
MSI has had to become a master of certain things.
Right.
thermal management.
Keeping things cool.
Yeah, and power delivery.
Making sure everything gets the juice it needs.
And just overall component optimization.
It's all about squeezing every last drop of performance out of the hardware.
So they're bringing that same obsession with performance to the server world.
Absolutely.
And as servers become more powerful and complex, those skills are going to be even more critical.
No doubt about it.
Imagine a server running some crazy AI application,
It's pushing the hardware to its limits,
generating a ton of heat.
demanding a constant flow of power.
It's like a high-stakes game, but with real-world consequences.
Exactly. And MSI's experience in the gaming world has given them the tools to succeed in this environment.
It's like they've been training for this all along.
In a way, yeah.
Okay, so let's recap.
All right.
We've talked about the rise of modular servers with DC-MHS.
Making servers more adaptable and efficient.
We've talked about AI-optimized servers with MGX.
Tailor-made for the demands of AI and deep learning.
And we've talked about MSI's ambitious entry into the server market.
Leveraging their gaming expertise to shake things up.
Exactly. But I want to leave our listeners with a question.
Okay.
What do you think is the most exciting potential impact of all these advancements in server technology?
That's a great question.
Is it the rise of more powerful AI applications?
That could solve some of the world's biggest problems.
Or is it the potential for more affordable cloud services?
That could empower businesses and individuals in amazing ways.
Or maybe it's something completely different.
Something we haven't even thought of yet.
That's the beauty of innovation, right?
It is, yeah.
It's full of surprises.
I'm personally really excited to see how all of this shapes the future of things like cloud computing, edge computing, the Internet of Things.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about a world where powerful computing is available everywhere, all the time.
It's amazing.
And that has the potential to really change how we live and work and interact with the world around us.
It's a pretty incredible time to be alive.
It is.
Well, that about wraps up our deep dive into the world of servers.
It was a good one.
We covered a lot of ground today.
We did, but hopefully it gave everyone a better understanding of this amazing technology and all the possibilities that are out there.
Yeah, and if you want to learn more, there's a ton of great information out there.
Keep exploring, keep learning.
That's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
Until next time, keep that curiosity